So for those of you, like, you have, been here for a long time, like some of you are new, and like if you follow me on social media, you might see like more and more like who is Unblinded, like what is Align doing with Unblinded, and all of the things. And so just a little bit of backstory on what this is all about and what the heck this is all looking like is I met Sean Callagy and the Unblinded team a couple of months ago because my friend David Gonzalez, which some of you may know, introduced me to the Unblinded world. And he called me up one night at like 10 o'clock at night, and he's like, I feel like I'm cheating on you. There is this other company and they're like teaching sales and influence, and I feel bad that I'm learning from them and all this stuff. And he started to tell me more and more about what Unblinded was doing. And the more I sat and listened to him, and we didn't end up getting off the phone until midnight that night. And the more I sat and listened to him, the more I was like, I want to learn from this person. Sean Callagy has 2 top 100 national jury verdicts. He's only one of 2 attorneys that has ever had that sort of record. He has, welcome Peter. He built and sold a 40-person law firm, and then he sold that law firm and then built another 150-person law firm where he is a business owner, not operator. And he got to like spend most of his time, spending with his kids. And through this formula that he created, he was able to go from like 0 to 200 cases in like 90 days. It was incredible. And so then he started teaching integrity-based human influence. And I had the honor and the privilege to actually be in a room with him about a month or 2 ago at a Tony Robbins event, where Tony Robbins himself acknowledged him in front of a room of people, saying, there is no one that teaches influence with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. And now he's, he owns multiple businesses, some of them that, are worth more millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I had not had those types of, results in my life. And so I was like, well, if I don't have those results, I need to learn from someone who does. And then we had the opportunity to create what's called an ecosystem merger, because the formula that he teaches, it far exceeds any sales formula I have ever seen in my entire life. And the results that it gets, a friend of mine, Rob Gill, went from 6 sales meetings to 650 sales meetings a month using this formula. And so we are going to, on this call, whoever's joining, please mute yourself. I don't know who G is, but please mute yourself. Or Vince, if we can mute whoever that is. And if you're not on camera, we're gonna remove you from this call. So please make sure your camera is on so that we know who you are. There, oh, that's Gigi, there we go. Okay, perfect. Now you're back. Welcome back, Gigi. Thank you. And so I was getting into, so we partnered with, with Unblinded, because I had always felt like I was great at sales, but I didn't really have a formula that like Sean uses. And so we've partnered with him, and now we have, been teaching the formula here with Align Sales. We've created a partnership and an ecosystem merging opportunity with them. And so Vince is going to play an introduction video, and then we will get into what this looks like. So Vince, let's go ahead and roll the video.
Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for? I watch people get stuck and frozen, and that breaks my heart. I was once stuck and frozen too. Greatest superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people.
Excited, and I want to give a shout out to Liba, because all of you are here because she is here. So, Liba, thank you so much for bringing all these incredible, amazing people together. You are such a rock star, and I'm so excited to have you part of the Unblinded team. So, why Align is doing the Real Raw is because this is now part of our interview process. This is how we test your skills at going from hello to yes. Because I can imagine some of you want to start off, 2021 with, with a bang. Yes. Like 2020 has been kind of like this crazy wild year. Yes. And so 2021 is, we want to set it off. We want to jumpstart this year with as much exponential growth and opportunity as we can possibly imagine. So we incorporated the Real Raw as part of kind of our interview process so that we can see in short conversations how you go from hello to yes. And we have several different positions that we are looking to fill at Align. We have, I think, like 5 different positions we're looking to fill before the new year. So today is just a quick opportunity to test your skills and how you go from hello to yes. And if we feel like we're an aligned match, if we feel like, we can help you find an opportunity, then the next step will be to book a call with me personally. We'll have a conversation to see where the opportunity is that we may be able to fit for you. Sound good? So I'm going to introduce a few different people. So what this conversation will look like is it will be a 3-minute conversation. And the 3-minute conversation is to go from hello to yes. And then we have some judges in the house. And some of these people think that they are contestants. Some people know that they are judges. So, and some have been with Align for a long time. So I'm going to personally introduce who we're going to have as judges first and foremost. And so I'm going to actually start with Sophie. I'm going to have you be a judge today. I'm going to have 3 judges today because Sophie has been with Align. Sophie, how long have you been with Align?
Probably 9 months.
9 months. And when Sophie came into Align, like she was already really great with sales and influence. Like she came in, she blew me away right from the gate. And when from the moment she came in, like I was just astonished with who she is, with her influence skills and how she shows up in the world. And we were able to place her with a dream opportunity. So share with everyone kind of your experience with Align and the opportunity that you were able to get through Align.
Well, first I want to say thank you for that generous introduction, but I actually don't identify with feeling good at sales in the beginning. I always knew that I was a powerful convincer when I believed in something. But as soon as money was involved, I would completely freeze up. And as somebody who cares about building my own freedom, I knew this was a problem. I wasn't going to be able to create the life I wanted to if I was incapable of talking about money and using my enrollment energy to ever actually have money come into my bank account, right? So I knew that sales was an edge for me, and I wanted to learn from integrity-based leaders like Bella. So that's what brought me into Align in the first place, and Bella supported me in that journey, and now I do have my dream position. I work with people who I respect, who inspire me, who don't waste my time. I only work with people who are 99% yeses, and I really just need to nurture them across the line. And yeah, it's wild.
And just share with everyone like where you were financially when you came into Align and then like where you are at now.
Yeah, so I had just moved back into my parents' basement when I first met Bella, and I was committed, but I was also in a constant state of scarcity. And it was just, I was constantly having to talk myself out of the reality of my surroundings because I was it seemed crazy on the outside to continue to pursue this career of freedom when I couldn't pay for rent. And I was doing things like investing in education when I couldn't pay for rent. So it seemed totally insane. But I just knew that I knew that the people in front of me had accomplished something that I hadn't yet. And so no matter what was going to happen, I knew I was taking the right steps forward.
Yes. And then where are you at now? Like financially?
Yeah, I can pay for everything I want. I mean, it's not falling out of the sky, but it's easy. And I don't want for anything. Like, I'm not stressed. I don't even look at the bill when I go to the grocery store. I wasn't stressed about Christmas. I just bought things for my friends just because I wanted to. I just went to Airbnb this last weekend and like bought it for myself, no problem. It's been amazing.
I love it. I love it. Sophie, I'm so excited to have you here. And it's been an honor. Sophie and I just met for the first time in Austin. Myself, Sophie, and Ian, as a matter of fact, all had dinner not that long ago in Austin. And this has been incredible to, get to know you and have you aboard. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna sandwich Peter Swain, because Peter Swain is over from the Unblinded ecosystem, and he thinks everything is my fault. And but he's been an incredible community member in the Unblinded team. So introduce yourself, Peter, and just kind of maybe speak into a little bit about what you've seen in the Unblinded community and through like our partnership and what maybe that acceleration means for everyone here.
Thanks, Bella, and thanks, Liba, for the invite. I appreciate the chance to be here. And Bella, strictly speaking, I don't think everything's your fault. I'm just trying to make everybody else think it's your fault. But,
I see. So you're using your influence to make everyone else think it's my fault. Yeah. I see how this is.
I just have to bring it in about once every 2 days until it just becomes a common parlance that everyone says, well, it's Bella's fault, obviously. So yeah, but thank you very much. So yeah, my name is Peter Swain. I've been in digital for 25 years. I've done projects for Raw Families and Gordon Ramsay and Jamie Oliver and about 1,000 other people. I was one of the first web developers in the world. And I met Sean Callaghy in November 2018 and went to the first event in January 10, 11, 12. And I think, like Bella, I've run 4 agencies. The last company I ran turned over $600 million. So I would say, relatively speaking, I've been successful. I've employed thousands of people, but there was always either friction. You were always trying to find ways to manipulate people. I think like Sophie said it quite well. You're always trying to sell people, and it never really sat well with me. If you know that something you're doing is good for the world and you know that it's a good price, why do you have to coerce, and why are you trying to do tricks? And especially in the online world, ClickFunnels has downstream tripwire closes. I'm like, seriously? I mean, how many more negative words are we going to put next to each other? And Unblinded really just lifts the lid off that and says there's not only a different way, but I'm going to be arrogant enough to say a better way, whereby you can keep people in their heart and have that conversation instead of getting people in their mind. I think the only problem with it is it's bogglingly simple to learn. So when you're then judging and being judged, it's like, oh yeah, it's really easy, and yeah, I didn't do it again. What am I doing? Step back, let's listen. So yeah, so I hope you all have a great experience today. I assume I'm going to judge. Yes, I am. My name's been changed. And it's easily, I'm telling you all for just in advance, it's easily the easiest job on the Real Raw, because it's so good to just sit here and throw stones from the cheap seats. So I'm sure you'll all be fantastic, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And then our third and final judge today is Mr. Ian Mcmahon, who has also been with Align for several months, has been placed on several different accounts with us and has crushed it every single time. And just, Ian, how you show up as so incredibly heart-centered and also coachable, and how you have grown over the last few months has been incredible. So share with everyone a little bit about you and like what your journey with Align has been like, and why everyone should come be a part of Align.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I got the opportunity to meet Bella, I believe back in March, early April. So a little after Sophie. And from the first phone call, I remember being incredibly intrigued. Like either this woman was everything she said or nothing she said. And it turned out to be the former, you know, that ended up being very impressed and really kind of called to go on a journey of figuring out how to have conversations with people where at the end of the call, they decide to enroll themselves into a totally different avenue of existing, a totally different avenue of living. And so from the first meeting to jumping ship during COVID from the insurance industry, which was my first gig out of school, to now where I'm working for 3 different companies and doing a little bit of coaching one-on-one on the side, growing financially, I will say. I made a lot of investments over the past year, about 25 grand. Happy to have that all paid off now, but ready to just go for the moon, and largely in part thanks to Bella. I don't think I could have done it without Bella and Align. So happy to be here, guys, and to sit in the cheap seats.
And so, Ian, you did a launch for us. We placed you on a launch, and like, how much did you make in that short amount of time?
Yeah, I think I made $6K in 2.5 weeks. Yeah, about 2 weeks of work.
Two weeks of work and $6K. Not a bad payday. So thank you so much for being here. And just a little bit about myself for those of you that I have not had the opportunity to connect with, or you don't know about my story. I grew up in Austin, Texas, and I was a high school dropout. I had dropped out of high school my junior year, and I started selling drugs for a living. So I started my sales career in drugs. And then one day I got a knock at the door. And when I answered the door, I was staring down the barrel of a shotgun. And that was the moment that I knew like my life had to change, that this was not the avenue for me, and this was not the life that I wanted to live. And so that's when I started into my first network marketing company. And within a year, I was a top income earner in that network marketing company. And I was, a trainer with the company. You can go back into my Facebook and see like old videos of me. Like I spoke 90 miles an hour with a huge Texas accent. They're awful. But then from there, I went into commercial real estate, where I was the #1 business broker in the whole state of Nevada. And then I had a personal styling company, and now I run Align Sales, where we are dedicated to primarily placing female sales professionals. We have some really epic men like Ian as well. We have, our goal in the next place 50 women in sales jobs, and we place more women sales professionals than any other company in the market. And we want to continue to build and grow that. So grateful for each one of you that are here today. And we're just going to go around and have the persons interview themselves, just seconds about yourself. And then we are going to like dive into, actually getting this show kicked off. So Lacheva, let's start with you. And I am going to keep time on this. Why don't you give everyone a 30-second introduction to who you are, anything that you want to take away from today.
Okay. My name's Liz, and I've known Bella for many, many years, and that's why I'm here. She just said, do you want to do it? And I, of course, said yes. That's the kind of person that she is. So I was up to game for any. I have lived in Vegas since '91. I'm a retired professional dancer. I've worked all over Vegas, up and down the strip, and in and out of the country. And now I'm in medical sales, and I love it. And I truly was an answer to prayer. I said,
right, I'm gonna stop you at 30 seconds. Anything you want to say with your final 1 second?
I have 1 second left.
Yes.
I have a 7-year-old daughter that I absolutely adore and live my life to better her life.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Up next is Antonio. I'm going to give you guys a 3-second warning. So when you see me hold up 3, that means you have 3 seconds left. All right, Antonio, go.
Hi guys, my name is Antonio Sclafani, Nevada. I spent the last 17 years working in the film and television business in Los Angeles as a producer and production manager. I discovered network marketing 3 years ago, and it has allowed me to retire. I am all about personal development, growing myself, and creating impact in the world. So the reason because I want to expand myself. So when Liba asked me, I said yes, and I'd figure it out later. So here we are, figuring it out. It's nice to meet you guys.
Awesome. Thank you for being here, Antonio. All right, next up is Janae.
Hello, everyone. My name is Janae. I'm located in San Diego. I'm here in Houston right now, spending time with my family. I am a yes person as well, so I just said yes to opportunities. I currently sales with a digital marketing firm that specifically works with nonprofits. So I just believe the world of for-profit and nonprofit can come together, and that's kind of the world that I'm in and the world I inspired to be as well. So I appreciate it. I'm unable to stay for a long period of time, so I might have to leave soon because I have another meeting, but I'm here to learn and observe.
We will definitely make sure you go first. Thank you so much for being here. And next up is Jessica.
Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Jessica M. Powers, and I own my own JV brokering liaison brand where I facilitate business development with joint venture partnerships and relationship marketing. I think we're supposed to talk about a fun fact. So in the email.
Oh yeah, I forgot that part.
Yeah, so I'll circle that back. A fun fact about me is I was 3.5 months premature and I weighed 1 pound and 4 ounces. And another fun fact is I met Bella because I was house pet sitting for her last year around this time. So that's how our relationship got started.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Jessica.
You're welcome.
All right, next up is Sierra. 30 seconds.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sierra. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I recently just got placed in my first ever sales position 2 weeks ago. So I'm doing a lot of outbound sales, and it's definitely difficult, but I've learned a lot even in just the 2 weeks that I've worked there. So I'm excited about that. A fun fact about me is I became an aunt this year, and I have a beautiful niece named Navira. My name is Sierra, and it means mountain range, and her name, Navira, means top of mountain. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Sierra. Next up is Sophie, not Sophie Dalton, Sophie Ortiz.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sophie. I'm from Mexico City. And a fun thing about me is that I've changed careers 3 times. So this is like my 3rd career. I've been a sales setter, for a year. So I'm looking to grow and to learn more about sales and become the best that I can be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Sophie. And last but certainly not least, Miss Gigi.
Hello, I'm Gigi Cohen, and I'm from San Diego, California, and I originally hail from New York City. And I have had several career changes myself, but the one thing that seems to be the golden thread for me is that I love to help people cross that bridge to the next level version of themselves. And that is, I found my way to sales many years ago, and it always excites me. It's what I love.
Beautiful. Awesome. So glad that you are here. Thank you all for being here. And so now we're going to get into what this looks like. So we do things different on the Real Raw Opens than we do on the regular Real Raw. So what this is going to look like is everybody is going to have the opportunity to go from hello to yes. And that yes is could be a yes for a longer meeting. It doesn't have to be like a yes for a sale. It could be, a yes for, a job opportunity. It could be yes for an interview. I know Sierra's like, she's practicing going from hello to yes with CEOs to get them on a call with her sales opportunity. So really and truly, this is your opportunity to display your skills in how you go from hello to yes. And going from hello to yes we use the heart formula here at Align, which kind of combines what Unblinded is doing, with us. And so the heart formula is first to just be here, right? Be here, be present, no distractions. And then the E is emotional rapport building. The A is asking questions. And then R is asking questions to reveal the pain. And then R is reveal your solution. And then T is transformational agreement formation. So we are going to look at how you go from hello to yes, how you build rapport, how you ask questions, and how you reveal solutions and get to the agreement formation. And we look for like energy variances. So in the human-based, integrity-based human influence, there are 4 energies. There is a fun energy, which we say like opens listening, right? So there's fun energy. There is goddess energy, which is what gets people to trust you. There is aspirational energy, which gets people to follow you, to trust you. So they trust you, now they want to follow you. And then Zeus energy is like your certainty, how certain you are in the solution that you're revealing to get to that agreement formation. So everybody is going to have the opportunity to compete for 3 minutes on going from hello to yes, using the heart formula and the 4 energies. Provided you do exceptional and amazing, then you have an opportunity to be welcomed into our ecosystem at Align and interview with some of the positions that we have here. It is a 3-minute conversation. And then after each round, the judges will have an opportunity to give 30 seconds of feedback. And because some people do need to leave early, I will probably have the judges, kind of round robin them in their feedback. Maybe after each one goes, we'll see how that goes. We're gonna play with that. Any questions on what it looks like? All right. So first up is going to be Janae. Janae, since you have to leave early. So
yeah, and I have a couple of questions as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Are we selling is this kind of like a discovery call more on the SDR side? Are we selling what, we're normally selling?
It can be anything you want to be. So Liba is going to be your role player. So you can tell Liba that you want her to be anyone you want her to be. So she could be someone that, you're already working with. So, or she could be like something new, whatever it is that you want to practice with, whatever you think you're the best at going from hello to yes, you'll just tell Liba who she is, who you want her to be, and then you'll role play with her.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
So Liba, go ahead, Bella.
No,
Sorry.
go ahead. Tell her.
Okay. So Liba, I work with nonprofits. So I would like for you to imagine yourself as being a nonprofit and you're really looking to get into digital marketing. That's the space that I'm in. So you're really struggling with getting your mission out there. You're struggling with donors right now and just really hoping to have a more strategic plan.
Cool. Love it.
Awesome.
Right.
So whenever you're ready, Jay, take us away.
Awesome. Well, good morning, Liba. Where are you calling in from?
Good morning. I am calling in from Las Vegas, actually.
That's awesome. I love your little hat you have on.
Yeah, me too. It's for the holiday spirit.
I know. I can't believe Christmas is here. But yeah, well, I appreciate you first and foremost just taking time. I know it's such a crazy time of the year, but honestly, I'm really excited to connect with you. I love your mission. I love what you guys are doing. And, my intention of this call is to really understand kind of where you guys are at and where you're trying to go. I want to be really transparent in, what Google ads can do, what Facebook ads can do, what they won't do for you. And, by the end, of course, I can share more about Community Boost, our program here, and we can kind of see if a deeper conversation makes sense.
Yeah, totally. And it's perfect. Like my shirt speaks it all. It's all about just spreading hope and spreading our message as well. And if you could help us get that out more, we could just help so many more people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think I just have such a privilege of talking to so many nonprofits. And I think that's so much of the issue, right? It's I'm obsessed with the nonprofit sector and what you guys all do, but so many people just don't know how you do it, right? And so I don't know how long is it supposed to be, Bella?
3 minutes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm so used to like a 30-minute conversation. So great, Liba. So tell me just a little bit more about, what you guys are doing and honestly just what you're looking for.
So right now we're actually running food banks and we're giving out food to people. A lot of people, unfortunately, during COVID and the whole situation with everything going on, they just don't have the funds to pay for it. And so we have all this like food and locations and like option, like food to give, and we just don't have, we know the people are out there and we're missing that connection piece to let them know that we have this available for them. And we just don't know how to reach them.
Okay.
And that's really something we need work with.
Okay, so it sounds like you're trying to reach your demographic that you're trying to serve a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of your other priorities, other than reaching the population that needs this help, tell me one or two other priorities that you're having right now, or you guys are looking to have in 2021.
We're always looking for more donors. We always need more people, more either volunteers, people to come show up and give food, or like companies to donate financially, because this is something that we expect is going to be going on for a long, like this is week 41 and we expect it to be going on for another 41 weeks at least.
Right, and having just a sustainable plan and more strategic plan might be really helpful.
Correct.
Right, okay. Well, I know we don't have a lot of time right now, but I'd love to connect with you maybe tomorrow for about 30 minutes and we can really dive into, what Google ads are, what Facebook are, how they address, your donations, your volunteers, and even just your need of serving your community. And we can go from there.
Awesome. Yeah, I would love to have another conversation.
Awesome job, Janae.
Thank you. I'm so used to like a 30-minute conversation.
We put on high heels for you. Great job. So I'm gonna go to Peter. I'm gonna since you're very familiar with the formula, I'm gonna have you kick off the round of feedback. We want to keep it to 30 seconds for time. But what feedback and we're giving everyone a score from Peter. Let's kick off with you.
So Janae, first of all, well done. Going first is not easy. Testing's not easy. Reframing it to 3 minutes isn't easy. Your time integrity was great, number one. Your questions were really cool. You matched and mirrored Liba's energy really well. I thought your acknowledgement and validation of her responses was good. The one thing I think you could give yourself an exponential lift is by bringing those questions into the heart, not into the head, especially in the nonprofit sector. Like, you've come out of that without knowing why she's doing what she's doing. Like, it's such a miss that would give you such power. So that would be my one thing. Questions in the heart, not in the head.
And what would your score for Janae be?
Inside the headspace, I'd be like a 9.2, but inside what we're talking about, I'm going to go for an 8.2 because I think you need that lift of speaking here.
Absolutely. So great feedback. And Peter, you're a great model for what feedback should look like. So we want to give, one or two things that the person did well, and then one or two things that they could do to improve. And so, Sophie, I'm going to go with you next. What feedback in 30 seconds would you have for Janae and a score for her?
Super impressed with how you gave her an opportunity to say a yes. I don't think I would have made it that tight. It did seem like you've done it before, which is awesome. My one thing is that it felt like some of your questions were leading, or like, I know you were short on time, but that you would summarize something and it was actually conjecture, where you're putting words into her mouth instead of asking questions to actually know what her why was, like Peter said.
And what would your score be?
Sorry, is it out of 10?
Yes.
An 8.
8. Awesome. Fantastic job. Thank you, Janae, so much for being here. And I'm going to hop. Yes. And was that feedback valuable for you?
Yes, it's super nice. I've been lacking feedback and I've been doing this work for about like 2.5 years. So it's really refreshing to hear that. And it's such a heart-centered
and real
sector
quick,
that I'm in.
Would you like mine?
Sure, I love it.
Go ahead.
Or you can message me individually, Ian, too, if we have to move on.
How about give me 15 seconds? I thought you did great with fun, goddess, and Zeus energy. I thought you really nailed that down. I thought that was fantastic. You're easy to talk to. I trusted you. Thought you were really certain. Areas of improvement around the agreement foundation, just positioning yourself more of an authority and kind of what you expect essentially at the end of the call. If you think you can help them, it's not just about that you can serve, it's that you are a person that has served and knows how to serve, right? And then the other thing is just, mirroring language a little bit more and a little less conjecture. So 8 out of 10, fantastic work.
Great feedback, Ian. Great feedback. And Janae, you're welcome back to practice anytime you want. All right, so I'm going to move over to Lacheva. Lacheva, who would you like Liba to be? And you're on mute, just as a reminder.
Golly, it's kind of a tough. In reference to what I'm doing now, Bella?
Yeah, that could be great.
Okay. Liba, I would like you to be an owner of a med spa.
An owner of a med spa.
Medical spa, looking to introduce new opportunities of services to provide to your clients.
Okay, got it.
Beautiful.
Let's go.
All right, Lacheva, whenever you're ready, take us in.
Hey, Liba, did I pronounce your name correctly?
You did, actually, yeah.
Okay, great. My name's Lacheva, and I'm excited that you were able to attend this training event. And I am here as a representative of Viora Medical. We are a technology-based business in the medical aesthetics, with offering radio frequency, IPL, YAG, and different services like that for your patients. So are you looking to add technology-based products for your clients?
Yes, we are. You know, things are constantly changing there, and we're constantly learning of new innovations and new things coming up, and we're just not sure how to incorporate it in. If we would have to, even just like with the finances, physically in the location, do we need to stay in the same location, move to another, rearrange stuff? It's just like a lot of stuff to figure out, and this is not the kind of stuff I normally deal with, so I'm not familiar with how to handle all of that.
Okay, great. My first question to you is, where is your practice at?
It's here. It's in Las Vegas.
Okay.
We actually have a few of them, like scattered around the city.
Oh, that's great. Okay. The reason I ask is because we do have different capabilities within different states of what's allowed with the technologies and who can perform the technologies. So, are you a nurse or are you an MD?
I'm actually a nurse.
Okay, great. Well, the great thing to know here in Nevada, you do have access as a nurse to do completely full body technologies. And as I mentioned, it would incorporate radio frequency, IPL, which is intense pulse light, and then the ND-YAG. And that opens up the capabilities of over 50 plus services that you can provide for your clients. And I always tell people, if you have the opportunity to keep that client in your chair and not send them across the street for another service, why would you not want to do that? You know, we do live in a world where we as consumers like to go into one store and get a bunch of things done. So I want you to think about that for your practice as well, of being able to round out a full service that you can provide, that there's not going to be anything that a client is possibly going to have to go elsewhere because you don't provide it. And that's what we do with Viora, is come alongside you and offer a platform system, meaning that one system is going to allow you to do an exponential amount of services, as opposed to having 3-4 different machines, which is somehow in some of our competitors, that's how you would have to price point it, which puts you in a significant price increase to do that. But as I know, most people don't have the room for 4, 5, 6 different machines. So that's what I want to. Okay.
Awesome. Great job, Lacheva.
Can I get feedback real quick?
What's
Can I give real quick feedback?
Sure.
Okay. First of all, I am a nurse in real life. So that was just
how funny.
which is really interesting. But I think that I had like a bunch of questions I wanted to ask you, but I guess the judges will get to that. You know what, I'll let the judges go, but I had like a lot of questions and I was just super interested in everything you were telling me, but then like didn't have room to ask them. But otherwise, I actually love what you do, like off the script. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Beautiful. All right, so we will go in reverse order this time, and Ian, we will start with you.
Hey, Lacheva, fantastic work. That's 3 minutes is no easy feat. So I applaud you guys for going deep. You had fantastic Zeus energy. You're clearly very certain of what you offer. That came off to me. So that was really well done. I'd say areas of improvement, because you're so certain, there's no rush, right? It's time to ask more questions, to just open things up, to have her, show parts of who she is and where potentially she may need help. Just giving yourself more time for that, for the certainty to come in. What was that?
Your score is your cue that your time is up.
Gotcha. Thank you. 10. Great work.
Awesome. And Sophie, your 30 seconds of feedback. And I'll give a 3-second warning to wrap it up and give a score. And go.
So Lacheva, I'm in the camp of talking as little as possible and listening as much as possible. Of course, you, like Ian said, you have really strong Zeus energy and it's clear that you really know what you're talking about, but I would start to look for more opportunities for where you can reduce the amount of words you need to use to communicate that. And maybe this is, you can send them more pre-education information so that they already know the logistics, but this conversation should really be about identifying their pain points and what they need.
Great feedback. And your score is?
An 8 again.
Awesome. And Mr. Banana Man, Peter Swain, your feedback for Lacheva.
Lacheva, as Ian said, 3 minutes is tough, and you did really well with the but or the learning or the clarification for you is absolutely, your Zeus is really, really present, and I would love to see more goddess and more aspirational energy from you, and fun would be fantastic for you to bring those things in. I think you're going to struggle because I think in one area which I think you need to overcome, you have a knowingness because you obviously know your stuff inside out, and you need to remember questions are there to open listening as much as they are there to get information. But I think you did fantastic, and I'll go for an 8.5.
Thank you.
Awesome. Lacheva, how was this for you?
It's good. I think I got caught up in trying to make sure that the rest of the group knew what I did. In the normal situation with Liba at an event, she would have gotten pre-information, which you mentioned, Sophie. An email is sent out to them, so they're not completely talking to me randomly about that. So yeah, that's the one thing that I definitely know that there's a setup, so she knows who I am before we even connect and what we offer. And then, yeah, just definitely the questions and things. I think, again, I was just trying to get the full information to her of who I was because I knew she didn't have the email, so to speak. But that's all great feedback, definitely.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this, and definitely stick around and do some magic tricks later. I know you have to go at a little early and stuff, so if that time comes and you have to go, awesome, but definitely stick around. And so next up we have Antonio. So Antonio, who would you like Liba to be?
Okay, Liba, you are a role player for a sales company, and we've just met role playing through an online contestant event, and you've reached out to me to connect to find out more about what you learned on our little event that we created.
So I'm playing the role player of a role player?
Yes, correct. You are Liba, the role player for a sales agency.
I think you're playing yourself is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I got it.
On to that.
Okay,
right.
I'll roll with it. I'll roll with the rolling.
Beautiful. So Leva, I'm so glad we could connect today. Where are you calling from?
Thank you. I am calling from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Nice. I'm out here too. I've been out here a year. I actually grew up out here. How about you?
Oh, no way. That's awesome. I just moved out here in June from New York.
From New York. What brought you to Vegas?
Honestly, super chance encounter. I'm a nurse. After working COVID, I ended up in Vegas and then decided to move here. I knew 2 people that lived here.
That's awesome. Well, now you know a third. So I'm excited that we get to connect today. Awesome. Well, I'm really pumped to talk to you today about creating an additional stream of income for yourself. Today's a shorter call. We've only got 3 minutes. So if I can't help you out, I'd love to point you in the right direction. But if I can, we'll book a later strategy call and go over some more details. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Beautiful. So first up, let me ask, why are we talking about you creating an additional stream of income now as opposed to 12 months from now?
Because why wait 12 months for something that you could have right now?
Amazing. So what is your biggest challenge, challenge right now in your income and creating additional income?
Putting myself out there, I guess, being vulnerable.
Beautiful. Well, I totally sense your vulnerability. So it sounds like it's something you're already working on.
Yeah, trying to hone into all my talents and give them, put them where they could be useful.
I love that. Well, I could totally sense your talents when we were on that call earlier today. You really show up presently, and I really acknowledge the way that you did put yourself out there. You reached out to me as a stranger and made it all happen. So I really appreciate that about you.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me these questions.
Awesome. So are you looking to change your income stream now and your vulnerability and putting yourself out there, or is that something you would want to look at later?
No, it's something that I'm looking to do now.
Beautiful. So if I have this right, you are currently working and you are open to exploring other options.
Yeah, I'm always open to options.
Beautiful. Well, as I said at the beginning of the call, I want to be respectful of your time. The good news is I really support people in opening up and really stepping into their authenticity and putting themselves out there and helping point them in the right direction. So from here, I'd love to book another call and look into this deeper. I've taken a few notes here. And so if you're available tomorrow PM or 4:30, which one works better for you?
4:30.
Perfect. Well, I will reach out to you. I'll call you at 4:30. I'll send you a Zoom link ahead of time, and I look forward to connecting with you more.
Awesome. I love it. Say yes now. Figure it out later. Heard that before.
We're going to get along. Thanks, Leva. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. That was Bella, you're muted. Bella, we can't hear you.
Oh, that was amazing. Incredible job. Have Antonio back as a judge. That was absolutely phenomenal. And so for feedback.
That was the most genuine connection that I've felt so far. You were very calm, and in that calmness, you were very concise. The only note, and this is just how it felt to me. It could be totally different for somebody else's. It could not apply to somebody else's energy. But at the end, when you said, does this time or this time work for you? It just felt a little bit like, ooh, but what if that, I don't know, I felt a little bit corralled, if that makes sense. Like your rapport was so open and easygoing, and then how you closed it felt a little bit like I could get off that call and feel kind of like, wait, what just happened? Yeah.
Great feedback. And Sophie, your score?
10.
Wow.
Nice. Awesome job. Mr. Peter Swain, what do you have for Mr. Antonio?
Antonio, I'm going to start with the good news. I'm going to give you a 9.2, and I rarely give 9, so good job. And I'm giving you, got to say, in that context, the cheap tricks are very, very good. And the way you closed it, and the would you like to do it now or in 12 months' time, that stuff, you don't need it. Your level of skill and integrity and heart might need to use those kind of ways to get it. You don't. Stay there. Insanely powerful, like insane. You went into your little toolbox that you've maybe taught or picked up. You're still good enough to do it, so you still carried it, but lose those if you can.
Great feedback.
8.8 out of 10. Great work, man. Fun. The fun was out the roof. Aspiration, I felt really led by you. Serious things to experiment with and to play around with around enthusiasm. Maybe you don't need, maybe it doesn't need to be that bright. Maybe you're just as powerful, just as certain, just sort of showing up, right? Just playing times too. And I think that can take you to being a 10, but 8.8, man, fabulous.
Thank you, Ian.
Awesome. Thank you for that feedback. And Antonio, how was that for you?
That was great. So I love feedback. So I was like, when I heard Sophie's 10 at the beginning, I was like, oh man, I don't want to hear 10s. Like I want something that I can improve. And Sophie kind of opened me up there with the close tool. I was that like really opened me up. Peter came in and just really bring it home that I don't need the tools and tricks. I know who I am. I know how I show up in the world and I don't need to use those. And then Ian just wrapped it up. And I tend to come over the top with my fun energy, and that can just exude from me because it is who I am. It's not something I need to turn on. So beautiful feedback. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to hear from you guys.
Thank you.
Antonio, fantastic. That was fantastic. All right. So next up is Miss Gigi. Are you ready? You're on mute, love.
You're muted.
Oh, that little detail. Yes, I am ready.
Like Liba to be.
Okay, so Liba, I would like you to be someone who has looked at the website for life coach training, and you have filled out a form to speak with someone for more information, and that someone would be me.
Cool. So I'm looking for a coach, basically.
Actually, you're looking to get into life coaching and be, so you're someone who is kind of consider making a career change.
Got it. So I want to be a coach. Okay. Got
Yes,
that.
definitely.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right,
Good.
Gigi, take us away.
This is Gigi, and I understand that you are interested in our life coach training programs. And I was just wondering, where are you calling from?
Hi, Gigi. I am interested. Thanks for getting back to me. I am calling from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Awesome, awesome. So I see we're approaching the holidays and you are all prepared.
Yeah. So gotta get the holiday spirit in.
You are. So it's very refreshing to see someone who is really enthusiastic about these approaching holidays, and especially in a year like we've had. So tell me,
Is everyone
Gigi,
trouble hearing her, or is it just me?
no, Gigi, is your computer or something moving?
And no, it's not. The internet connection is unstable.
Now you're
Okay,
good.
you're back on. You're back on.
Okay.
So keep going.
Okay. So it's great to see you in the spirit. And 2020 has been one of those years to see someone in the spirit of Christmas or the approaching holidays. And it's very refreshing. So thank you for that. It's bringing a smile to my face. So I
You're
see.
welcome. It helps me as well.
Awesome. Awesome. I see here from your form that you're interested in perhaps getting into life coaching. And I was just wondering if you could tell me where you're coming from in terms of making that leap into life coaching, or your desire.
For sure. So I've been through a lot myself in my life, and I've learned a lot over the years. And I just gained this, I guess, mindset of looking at things from the better, from the good, because when we look at something from the bad or the negative, it doesn't help us, right? And so I've trained my mind and I've trained my body to just always see good in everything. Like there could be something horrific happen or whatever it is, I'm always looking for the next best thing and the next thing that's good, like the good energy. I'm usually pretty high energy. And a lot of people I posted on my Instagram, on WhatsApp stories, and people are constantly sending me messages like, thank you so much for this. This really helped me. This really helped my day. Thank you for reminding me to go and work out a lot. And so I started realizing, maybe this is something I should get into more because it's really affecting people that some people I don't even know, like they're just sending me these messages, and I'm like, there's a need for this, and I know that I have that capability. I just don't know how to put it out there.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, you inspire me just by hearing you say that this is something that you find that you have to offer. And so as far as the training and putting it all together, I feel like once you are able to hear more about our program, you will see that it is a step-by-step approach, and yet you are constantly building on those skills. And so by the time that you finish the training program, you will feel that you have enough to be able to go out there in a certain way, in a confident way, and help people. So how does that sound to you?
That sounds really cool. It sounds like it's the missing piece, like the piece that I'm missing.
Your time. Thank you so much, Gigi. That was awesome. Gotta love Peter Swain. You know, brings in the new backgrounds for every opportunity. So, Gigi, thank you for that. How was that for you?
It was awesome. It tends to be a little short. So, but I think we got some good stuff in there. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So this time we will start with Ian. Your feedback for Gigi.
Gigi, you were fantastic. If you're not the most trustworthy goddess embodied person ever, I don't know who is. I could trust you in opening up to a variety of different things. That's beautiful. Just a great thing to layer in. You did aspiration really well by asking her what she's looking for, just continuing to ask those questions and just coming from that Zeus place of you've impacted people before and you're here to do that for the right person. So just more of that certainty and just that up on the mountaintop frame, I think might be interesting to combine with that goddess and that fun energy that you have. So 8.4 out of 10. Fantastic work.
Beautiful. Oops, I forgot to look at time. All right, let's go to Peter Swain next.
So Gigi, well done. Yes, the time is short. I'm commending something you did amazing, and then I want to point out how you could have used it differently. And for everybody else, that first question you asked Gigi, that is what a question looks like. When you get somebody going for a minute and a half, you've asked the right question. Perfect. Perfect. However, because you're in the career you're in, you're going to get a lot of heart energy coming out from people. So you really need to work on how you validate and answer that, because you really didn't know what to do with it. Like, you were handed this thing, you're like, that's great. Can I tell you what I do? So asking a deeper question, asking Liebe, wow, that sounds amazing. How does that experience feel for you when people reach out? Go into that experience, get her deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And I think you'll accelerate really well. So I'm going for 8.5. But yeah, the first question, wow, and then such an opportunity that you didn't take forward.
Perfect.
The feedback is so good, I keep forgetting to look at time. Thank you so much for that, Peter. And next up, Sophie.
Essentially the same thing. The Liebe's response to the first question made me go, wow, she just handed you a whole bunch of golds. And then it felt kind of loose. Like it felt like there wasn't a clear direction, or you weren't taking it anywhere. And I second what Peter said, this is a super heart-centered field. So you're going to get a lot of people who might be very airy and could talk forever about their dreams or, whatever. And so you're going to really be able to really support them by condensing that and giving them structure.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And your score?
9.
Awesome.
Bella, I'm now going to break your time integrity. I haven't done it yet. Everyone else did. So one of the things that Bella has an amazing set of talents that I'm consistently in awe of, and she actually beat me in a face-off, which I was very annoyed about, but never mind, because she cheated. But one thing Bella does so well, Bella, can you just do a very, very quick example of what I'm hearing you say is? Because that was the perfect time to use it.
Absolutely. So yeah, so within this, we do drop what Sean calls a magic trick. And so definitely think about doing that with Gigi. So let's drop into that now. What it looks like to, use the heart formula use the 4 energies, and then we'll go into the rest of the contestants. So great lead in, Peter. So Gigi, what is the coaching that you do exactly?
Life coach training.
Life coach training. Okay. So, and within Align Sales, like those are the types of companies that we do place for. And so, you know, and you're here because you're, you know, interested in learning more about sales or learning to take one of our sales roles. So we'll do a little role reversal, and you'll be you, and or you'll be, you know, an interested party, and I'll be you. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Hi, Gigi. It's Bella. How are you?
I'm well, Bella. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I am amazing. Thank you so much for asking. And I know we just kind of booked a short time here just to connect and see where we might be aligned, because, you know, you have an interest in becoming a life coach, yes?
That's correct. Yes.
So what is it about life coaching that is calling you forward? Why is it something that's pulling you forward?
Well, I really get very inspired by the ability to connect with people and to actually help people to see a brighter side for themselves and empower people.
So you love helping people like see a brighter side, connect with them. And I really get that, you know, you love helping and empowering people and what more they could do. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely, yes. Mm-hmm.
And so where is it that you feel like you're stuck? Like, so, you know, you know, obviously I can sense from you that you have the tools, you know, you could be a great life coach, you know, that you can empower people, but what is it that like feels like, where do you feel, in a couple words, feel like you're kind of maybe stuck or lost on how to get from, you know, doing what you're doing to, you know, being the best life coach on the planet?
Well, that's a very interesting question. And I would have to say, just in a quick moment here, it's probably the order of things.
And when you say order of things, do you mean like the order of like building a business, or what exactly do you mean by the order of things?
I would say the order of things in terms of how to put a framework around the skills and tools that I may have, and also develop those in the same sense.
Yes. So frameworks are definitely important. You know, we talk about in the formula, there's influence mastery, there's self-mastery, and there's process mastery. And what I'm gathering from you is like, you're great at influence mastery because you can empower people, and you're great at self-mastery because you know who you are, but where the challenges lie is really in the process mastery, in really how to build this thing. Would you say that's true?
That's brilliant. Yes, that is true.
Well, we definitely have a program and a service that teaches you to, you know, really how to hone in on that process mastery so that you can grow, because you've got all the other components. You're absolutely incredible and amazing at those other components, but it is that process mastery that has you stuck. And so, and I definitely have something that I would love to share on that, but I know we only have a few minutes right now. Are you open to speak sometime tomorrow so we can talk more about what that process mastery looks like?
Yes, absolutely. Let me check my schedule and see what time might work.
Okay, fantastic. Awesome. Beautiful. How was that for you, Gigi?
Very tight. Very awesome. I felt understood. I felt heard. It was great.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Do we get to judge you?
Yeah, go ahead, Peter. What do you got for me? As long as you say I'm better than you.
Listen, we all know it, but that's fine. Right. So I'm actually marking you down a bit to a 9.5 because I didn't hear any HUI whatsoever. Shame on you. That wasn't there at all, and you know that. But Gigi, I just want to actually reflect it back to you. This is how you know it works. You did a at the end of something. When she said, "Am I hearing you correctly?" You said, "That is brilliant. Yes, that is right. Yes, absolutely." You actually said yes 3 times, like in a natural speech pattern, but literally you said yes, yes, yes. When you started answering the questions, you were looking up and to your right, which means you're using your imagination. You were being a little bit, what does this person want me to say? And then as you said, so what I'm hearing you say is, you actually, your body language changed, you leaned back slightly and you started looking in a different direction. You were guided through the whole thing. As you said, it's those three things. And this is what this whole thing actually comes back to. Did you feel heard? Did you feel seen? Did you feel understood? Right. And the answer was yes, yes, and yes, which is why Bella is sadly better at this than I am.
I love you, Peter. Thank you so much for that. And this is what we teach here. This is what the formula is all about. This is how we go from 6 sales meetings to 650 sales meetings. This is how our agents, this formula, this is how our agents are earning 6 figures a year. We have placed more salespeople. I have a gal that we placed right at the beginning of the pandemic. And she was selling a service. Sophie and Ian know who this is. She was selling a service that helps salon owners go from 6 to 7 figures. She started in March when the world shut down. Even through the entire pandemic, she has still consistently sold over 100K a month, still consistently making $10,000 or more a month through the pandemic, selling a service to salon owners. This formula works. It works in getting you more money, more magic in less time. And you got to be able to see that displayed. And, we are here to help everyone really truly master the art of influence. And we want to help, everyone get a job, and we definitely will do that. And there are opportunities to do some programs within Unblinded if you really want to master this formula. So thank you so much for that feedback, Peter, because I always say, as long as you can master influence, you can always live in the house that you desire, have the life that you desire. Like just in this month, I have been to private islands. I was at Necker Island. I was in skiing mountains in Utah. I was hanging out at the beach in Florida. Like this is the life that I always desired to live. And it's because I know how to go from hello to yes. And so, I'm just really honored that you guys are all here. And so let's get into our final final 3. We have 3 more left. So let's hop into that. And Sophia Ortiz, let's go with you. Sophie, not Sophia, Sophia. Sophie.
Cool. Thank you. So Liva, you're gonna be a yoga instructor. You have 3 kids and you want to build your business online. Your yoga practice.
Love that.
Okay, cool. So Liva, hey, great connecting with you. I know that we connected through Facebook. I'm really happy we're having this chat today. How are you?
Good. Hi, Sophie. Thank you so much for getting in touch with me. I am also really excited to talk with you.
Awesome, Liva. So this call really is to see how we can help you with your business. So what I found works best is that we talk about like where you are, where you want to be, and where you want to take your business. So go ahead, tell me about your business.
So I became a yoga instructor, but then I started having my kids, and obviously like children are more important, like they're super important. And I was never able to like become the instructor that I wanted. So while I still had my own yoga flow and my own practice, and I would teach it a little bit, I would teach in studios or I would teach different places, I never really got the opportunity to become that person that I wanted to be and, use my, teach other people yoga and show people the importance of how it affects their body and their health. And this is something that, especially now with everything going on and people being home and so much more being online, I think this is something that I could really take to the next level. And I'm not sure how to do that.
Wow, that sounds awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I think that I hear the passion in your voice, and I hear that you want to be, build this business and, have it be amazing. So why do you want to do this now, Liva? Why now?
Why now? I think now is a great opportunity. I think a lot of people are online, and especially with gyms being closed and studios being closed and people having to go online. And while I know there's a lot of free stuff out there, which is also something that I'm struggling with, because why would someone want to pay for something when they could just go on YouTube and find it for free? So that's like, but I know that I have what to offer them that is not on YouTube. And so I just really want to build that community.
Okay, so cool. Yeah, and it's definitely doable. Actually, what we do is we teach you how to, bring your passion into an online business and have a good income. You mentioned on Facebook you have kids, so you want more time with them. Is that right?
I do. Yeah. Right now I'm busy working other jobs and I don't get to spend much time with them. And I would love to have that time freedom to be with them, watch them grow, for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So I think that we can definitely help you achieve what you shared with me. So would it make sense for us to talk like in a longer call to see how that looks like for you?
Yeah, I would love to get on another conversation with you.
Okay.
Awesome. Time. Great job, Sophie. Great job. Awesome.
Fun fact, I'm a yoga instructor and I never taught yoga because I finished it when I started nursing school. So it's like something that's always in the back of my mind, actually.
Cool.
Fantastic. All right. Let's start with Sophie this time.
Hello, Sophia.
Sophie giving Sophie's feedback.
I loved how open-ended you left it. Like you really invited her forward and you were clear in what you wanted. I don't know if it's a lacking, but you didn't have those like slick verbal tools in your toolkit, like Peter said. Like you didn't have those salesperson phrases, but it was still really clear what the next step was. And I felt like if she were to say yes, that she would be very confident in her decision because there was, you allowed her to make it with full consent. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Tell someone.
Awesome. And your score was?
I think an 8.5. It was good.
8.5. Awesome. And next up is Ian.
Oh my gosh, Sophia. I mean, you have a relaxed, fun energy. You're so ready to connect emotionally. You're certain, you're trustworthy. I mean, I'm trying to think of ways for improvement. There's really around Zeus, but you embodied, even when you said, hey, would you like to book a call with me? I think you'd be a good fit. There was even a vibe of like, hey, if not, there's people down the block. So maybe just verbalizing that a bit more, but amazing work. This is how you get clients that create testimonials that are deeply devoted in what you do. So 9.2 out of 10, fantastic work.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, and last but certainly not least, Mr. Peter Swain and Batman.
Sophia, you rock. You are a badass and you know it, and that's phenomenal. And I love you. I get hugely stereotypy because I come from a marketing background, so I apologize to anybody that hears this in the wrong way. But one thing that women often suffer from is when they're in Zeus, they become masculine instead of staying feminine, and you did not have that issue. You had a feminine grace, but with certainty to you, which was intoxicating and non-threatening, and will work with men and women alike. Full stop, brilliant. There is one area you can improve, which is that you, again, as I said to Bella, and it's an easy one to miss, your heroic, unique identity didn't come across. There was at no point did you say, before you went into the close, Liba, would you mind if I just take a few minutes or a few seconds to tell you a bit about myself and where I've come from? Right, so she felt fully connected to you, but they need that so they know what they're connecting to. And the whole reason to expose all those pains and all those things is so you can tailor your identity into that. So I'm going to give you a 9.5, but that's the one thing to work on. But if you were to mess up anything else, don't even work on it because it was great. But that's the one thing you can get better. Well done.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Did I get all the judges? Or Ian, did you go? You did. Okay, perfect.
Yay.
How was that for you, Sophie?
Everybody listening to a call, but like I felt connected with Liba and, you know, it just flowed. So interesting. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. So glad that you're here. All right, so next up is Sierra. Are you ready, Sierra?
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right, so tell Liba who you would like her to be.
Sure. So Liba, I lost where you are on the screen. There you are. I would like you to be a CEO or president of some big company, maybe like 500 employees, and your company was hit somewhat hard due to COVID.
Okay.
And I'm cold calling you. Got it?
Well, hit hard like financially.
What's that?
Hit
Hit hard
finan-
in whatever way you want. You can take that however you'd like. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ready? You got it?
Ready? Take us away.
Okay. Hi, is this Liba?
Hi, this is, who's calling?
Hi, my name's Sierra Meyer. You don't know me. I'm calling from Benefix, and I know that this sounds like a cold call. It's not a cold call, and it's not a cold call. And so what I mean by that is at the end of this time frame that we talk, it's just going to be a few minutes. All I really want to ask of you is to set up a call for a little bit of a longer conversation if it makes sense. I'm not going to ask you to purchase anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, where'd you get my number from?
I actually came across your company because you received a PPP loan, and I just was looking to help out different organizations that were hit pretty hard due to COVID. So if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a little bit about how your company's doing.
Sure.
Okay, so I'll just leave it very open-ended. How is your company doing during this pandemic?
Business has been a little slow. You know, we haven't really been able to get our sales numbers up the way they were in the past. And so it's been affecting, I had to let some employees go, and it's just been affecting the overall vibe and atmosphere of the company. Numbers are slowly slipping. So yeah, the loan definitely helped save us a little bit. It helped me be able to keep on more employees than I otherwise would have had to let go of. Yeah, we're just hanging in there, really trying to figure out ways to innovate, and are hopeful that this will all be over soon.
Oh, I totally hear you. I think everybody across the whole world is very hopeful of that. And so what I'm hearing from you is that you've already had to let go of some of your employees. I can imagine that has been extremely difficult and not an easy decision for you. Are you still in the process of potentially needing to let go employees, or how are your current employees doing?
So the loan helped us a lot, and we're kind of just like getting by. We're a big company, but we're like a family. And so I know I've met almost all of my employees. I make it my business. And so really we're trying to hold on to them as much as possible. If I have to pay from my own money, not from the companies right now, I'll do that. But I would really love to get back on our feet and stay afloat and prosper.
Definitely. Well, I'd like to acknowledge that, you're very passionate. I can tell about what you're doing, and it sounds like you are trying to do everything that you can to keep your employees afloat and still within your company. So I really acknowledge the work that you're doing. I do think that at Benefix, we have a solution that might be able to help you. Can I share a little bit about what we do?
Sure, I'm always open.
Awesome. So what we do at Benefix is we offer gap insurance programs that significantly decrease the amount that organizations are spending on their healthcare. And with this program, it's a very robust health and wellness program for the employees, where your employees would actually have to pay almost nothing out of pocket for your deductibles. So this has been dramatically helping companies save even more than 7% on their healthcare costs annually. If you'd like, I want to keep this conversation pretty short, but could I get you on like a 30-minute Zoom call to go more in depth about that?
Yeah, I'm open to that. If there's something that could save me money, I'm down.
Awesome.
All right,
Yeah, I definitely. Okay.
I let you go a little long because I wanted you to be able to get that all in and practice.
I know.
But phenomenal improvements. And it was really funny because, you know, as soon as you mentioned the not statement, I got a direct message from Peter, and he's like, I wonder who she's being coached by. Sean says it all the time, the whole Unblinded is always like a not, like that's definitely Unblinded language. So that was really super fun. And so, you know, great job, great practice. I'm gonna start with Peter here in just a second, but I want you to be practicing that like take the feedback that you get here today, and then I want you to be practicing it like 10 times a day with people, like just calling people, because you know, it definitely was better for an improvement from last week. But Peter, let's start with you.
Thanks.
So yeah, the first thing I'd say is taking on a total blind cold call is a baller move before you even start. So congrats, number one.
Thanks.
Number two, you're obviously coachable, which is a massive thing. Most people get coaching and just totally ignore it, and you hear them again, the same thing. So I'm going to give you some real specifics instead of because Sean's given you the greater concepts. Better, I'll try and keep time integrity, but it might go 10 seconds long. Number one.
Yeah, I'm not even keeping time. I want to make sure she gets this feedback. So
cool.
Thank you.
It's not, and it's not, has to be delivered with fun energy.
Okay.
You can't go flat with it. Otherwise it does not work. It has to be, hi, is that Liba? Yeah, it's not a cold call, but it's not a cold call. You have to play with it for it to work. Otherwise it won't land. Number one. Number two, the word I needs to be banished from your vocabulary wherever possible until you're talking about her own unique identity. When she spoke about the pandemic, you said, I think it's hard for everybody. It's not about you, it's about her. Your next sentence was perfect. You went back, you went to what I'm hearing. That's the only place you're allowed to use I. You then said, I'd like to acknowledge. Again, you brought you back into the conversation. Try and thank you for sharing that. It's great to hear that. Wow, that's amazing. Any other phrase that doesn't involve the word I, so she stays in her space. Can I share tick, tick, tick? Yes, brilliant. Love the way you did that. My only overarching feedback is humans buy from humans, people buy from people, and you sold to the business. You didn't sold to Liba. If you'd said, hey, I know this pandemic's obviously been super hard. I was just wondering how you personally have found it. That would have been a scotoma right there, because she's received the pandemic CEO call dozens of times, and I'm willing to bet in those dozens of times not one person has asked how she is, how's she finding it, how's it been for you with your staff, and then you'd been in your heart. So I'm going to give you like an 8.8, and I think I'm being harsh on purpose because I know who coached you. But it's all there. There's just some bits to pull out and some bits to put in, and it'll be phenomenal.
Thank you. That's super helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Sophie.
Massive props to you for how well you handled that, especially in a cold calling situation. Like, you befriended her, you passed along important information. Yeah, just like serious props to you. There was one piece where I felt myself start to tune out because it felt like a spiel. It was like you did the rapport building and then the spiel was engaged. So I'm just seconding what Peter said to make it about the connection with the human.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Ian.
Fantastic, Sierra. I mean, I got to see your first performance. Wow, if everybody could change after 1 week, that was phenomenal. I'm jealous of you there. You were fun. You had good goddess energy. You had good Zeus energy about helping. One thing was, transitioning to the offer, all of the questions ended like this. Can I help you with it? No. And what that says is just go through the offer, just do it 1,000,000 times to where it actually just becomes second nature, and you can just feel into it and make sure you're tailoring it to who you're talking to. But 9 out of 10, fantastic work. Amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Great improvement, Sierra. All right, certainly, but not least, Miss Jessica. For our final round, are you ready? Who would you like Liba to be?
I am so ready, and was kind of like, oh no, am I the last one? But
yes,
hey.
we're gonna take you in last, and we might go like 5 minutes over. Is that okay for anyone? Or is anyone gonna jump right at in 2 minutes? Everybody's good? Okay. All right, Jessica, who would you like Leva to be?
Awesome. Okay. A little extra pressure with that, but it's good. So Leva, you are a PR media specialist in the health and wellness space, and you are used to like traditional paid placement opportunities, and you're feeling stressed that you want to close the year out strong and make the most of your influence. We met on LinkedIn with a brief intro for Synergy.
So I'm a PR, like a personal relations person.
PR media, like you help people get media in PR.
Okay. For their companies or businesses or whatever.
Yeah, like podcasts.
Okay.
Did that help?
Yeah, that did help.
Okay, awesome.
All right, take us away.
Awesome. Hi, Leva. Thanks for taking my call. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Jessica. Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you so
Perfect.
much. I was looking forward to this.
Yes. And I'm glad that we can make sure I'm not a bot, because I know that happens a lot on LinkedIn, so we could get that out of the way. And yeah, I know we're right in between different meetings today, so just want to make this to the point because you expressed some interest with Synergy and stuff. So I actually start this a little non-traditionally with really knowing like what your background is before you got into PR media.
So what did I do before I got into PR media?
Mm-hmm.
I've done like a bunch of random jobs. I do a lot of sports, and so I worked in a sports shop, and I worked with different athletes around the country trying to help keep them professional athletes and trying to kind of sponsor them, help find them sponsors and stuff like that.
Wow, that's so fascinating. So what led you to transitioning from that field with the sports focus into PR media?
I think that with PR media, I'm able to expand it. So I'll still be able to do the sports, but I think by expanding my field, like going into PR media, I can access other groups as well and like broaden what I do.
Absolutely. I agree. I think that's fascinating. I'm not a huge sports person myself, but I admire people who are. So with our call today, what would be something like, we're here at the end of 2020, and I'd really love to know what's a challenge or something you're facing with your efforts right now.
So I think the biggest challenge is that a lot of stuff switched over to technology, and while PR media is technology, a lot of what I did was I went to a lot of events and conventions and actually met people. I'm really good at meeting people face to face. So part of my challenge is trying to figure out I don't have these opportunities. So how am I going to meet these people?
Yeah, that sounds stressful with adapting from real life and the technical fatigue a lot of people are feeling. Well, there's actually great news with that. I actually specialize with JV brokering and management for intros, and I'm actually connected in the integrated sports medicine space. So what I'd like to do from here is invite you to a more in-depth call to go through a JV collaboration guide with me, and we can explore some more synergy from there. How does that sound?
That sounds really cool. Yeah, I definitely need help in this area. And
okay, perfect time. Awesome. Great job, Jessica. Great job and for finishing us off strong. So Ian, let's start with you for feedback.
Wonderful, Jessica. Way to bring it home. That is intimidating. There were a lot of surprising heavy hitters today. So for you to bring it home is fantastic. I thought you had a good, fun energy, especially as you got settled in, as you sort of got your flow. I found trust flowing in. I found a lot of that. And I thought your questions really started to open her up just one thing is just more, and yet again, because of the circumstance, I know it was like, oh, it's time, it's showtime, but just more grounding, more here, more, maybe mindfulness beforehand, different things to calm the nerves and just allowing that certainty to flow through. But fantastic work. 7.8 out of 10. You guys are fantastic. When I started, real quick, I know I'm taking time. Bella cut, the first time I ever did a role play, she cut me off 60 seconds in. I would have been last place today by a mile. So for all of you, I want you to take all of this and just run with it, because there's so much growth to be had.
I love it. I love it. All right, Sophie.
So Jessica, I thought you made it feel like a conversation. Like I didn't feel like I was listening to any sort of enrollment conversation. It was I could have been overhearing two friends at a coffee shop until you introduced yourself. And so I want to give you a tangible, like actual ways to do that softer. Something that I do is I'll say, wow, that's so, like, thank you for sharing that with me. And you know what's so cool is you actually remind me of Ian. Ian was in the exact same place as you 2 months ago, and I've seen him be able to really turn his life around and create some of the changes that you're looking for. So I'd love to, so instead of making it about me and who I am, I'm inviting them forward.
All right, I'm going to cut you off, Sophie, because time integrity, and I'm already 4 minutes late to another meeting. So did you give her a score?
8.
Awesome. And I think if you want to connect with her outside and give her definitely feedback, but definitely want to keep us on time. And I got something I want to wrap up with. So Peter, 20 seconds of feedback for Jessica. Sophie took all your time.
Jess, going awesome. Going last, yes, tough. I love the format you do. You didn't get me, right? Because you're, what I'm going to say, and I've got no better word, but I've got no time, opinionated answers and validations. Like, if people don't agree with you, it's like, it seems false. So keep the validations there, but use them more in the way of thank you for sharing that. It's great to hear that. That's awesome. Instead of giving your opinion. Right? Because if they don't agree with your opinion, it's like, no, I don't agree with you. Well, you're screwed. Like, you've got nowhere to go. So 7.5, but it could be 8.5 if you just literally shorten the validations instead of make them longer.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Peter. I want to say thank you to all of the judges who have given of their time today to make a difference in people's lives today. Sophie, Ian, Peter, your feedback today was invaluable. Everyone here today became a little better because of your contribution. So thank you so much for being here. And there's a couple of different paths with Align. We're not here to sell you anything. There are definitely some opportunities. And because we have some opportunities that need immediate positions, if you're interested in working with Align, if you're interested in finding out more about the opportunities, you will receive an email today from Liba to book a call with me. And then you're also going to get a welcome email from my team that says welcome to Align, that invites you into that has you sign a non-disclosure. So if you're interested in working with us, you'll want to sign that non-disclosure. And then you'll get a welcome email with a link to join Slack. I invite you to join Slack, today or tomorrow, because if you are interested, I'm looking to fill these positions before the end of the year. I can tag you in them. We can chat about them over the weekend. And so if you are interested in a position, look for that email from Liba to book a call with me, and then look for that email welcoming you, having you sign a contract and welcome you into a Slack. And then, we'll connect in Slack if you're interested in that. And then if you're not looking for a position, but you just want to get better at influence, we do offer a master program. It's the 30 Days to Influence Mastery. And it is a 30-day program that Sean created on how to go from hello to yes, how to master these 4 energies, the 10 indispensable elements. And if that is something that you're interested in and talking about, when we hop on a call, we can talk about that as well. So just want to say thank you to everyone for being here this weekend, or today, I mean. Thank you for being here. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to do what we do and accelerate the sales world as a whole. So everybody did phenomenal. definitely want to welcome you into the Align community. And I hope that we get to help you find your dream job in 2021, or at least help you master influence so that you can have all of the money, magic, and less time that your heart desires. Thank you everyone for being here. Have a phenomenal